Next guests say that at a time when our government is crushingly expensive, failing at its basic functions, and seemingly unable to keep its promises, America's best days are still ahead of us. Joining us now, the authors of the brand new book, America 3.0, Rebooting American Prosperity in the 21st Century. Authors James Bennett and Michael Lotus. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us. I want to start, if I may, because it's so timely, talking about the abolition of the Internal Revenue Service. Michael, let me start with you. Who would have thought that such a thing was even at a distance possible? People are talking about it right now out of anger at what the IRS has done. Your thoughts?
It's funny, we're a little surprised that our prediction that we thought was going to be much farther downstream now seems a little more apt because of the recent events. What our thinking is that the country's in a period of transition right now. It seems like it's in decline, and you have people who say, well, everything's falling apart, but it's not. We're moving from a 20th century industrial era government that can't do its job anymore, but we haven't replaced it with what's coming next. And the IRS is the classic mid-20th century, big, bureaucratic, heavy-handed operation. And regrettably, it's also recently become pretty obviously politically corrupted as well. Right. So the sooner we can move toward that, the better.
And James, you guys argue that the government is going to become smaller, less significant. How so?
Well, we believe that, as we say, we're at a transition point between an old system, what we now call America 2.0, which served the country well at its time, but it's become too big, too cumbersome, and it's not working. Obviously, we're coming up against a financial crunch where basically the promises that have been made by it just can't be kept in the form that they've been made. I think that we're going to have a series of financial political crises. We've already seen several of them. I think there are more to come. I think that at some point, people are going to realize that more of the same is not going to work. More of the same, but twice as hard is not going to work. More of the same, but with better people at the helm. None of those are going to work. We're going to have to take a systemic look at it. We say that the financial political crises are going to force us to do what we call the big haircut. Basically, look at these enormous debt positions which have been run up without an ability to pay, and say we're going to have to do a series of grand bargains where the important thing is it be done as fairly as possible, that a lot of the different things get trimmed back.
Let me ask you, Michael, what's going to drive this new era of prosperity? What will be the catalyst, the driving force? Would it be what is now an imminent energy boom in this country, a technological breakthrough? What will it be?
I think there's a few features. The energy boom is sort of a nice to have that we weren't really focused on at all. It can't hurt, and it's great that we're getting it. The technological changes we're seeing now are what's going to drive it. And what's at least as important, perhaps less appreciated, is that the American people and the culture that we have here and have had for centuries really prepares us for to be an enterprising, freedom-loving community. And the new technology is not like the 20th century industrial era mass production technology. It's going to be much more like back when you had family farms and small businesses 150 years ago, except immensely more productive and networked and connected with each other and more productive.
Michael, thank you very much. James Bennett, Michael Lotus. Their book is America 3.0, on sale now online at bookstores everywhere. Go to Dobbs.com for links to the book as well. We thank you for being with us, gentlemen, and we thank you for joining us here tonight.